Hi everybody, welcome back to El Gringo Sergipano. This is episode 7 where we're building the city of Kier, and today we're going to move to the other side of the river to build an agriculture area as well as the town of Gunnel. So without further ado, let's get started. There's much to build today. Okay, so I've built a quay wall along the coast of the river here, as well as a kind of avenue that's about maybe 4 ticks away from the side of it, just so I can have some space. But yeah, we're going to have some agriculture in this area. So yeah, one side of this road is going to have agriculture, the other is going to have the town. In order to connect those, I'm going to raise this bridge up a lot, also so it has a higher crossing for larger ships in the river. And there we go, this big stretch of highway is elevated in the intersection well over the avenue going underneath it. And yeah, I mean, it's a tall bridge for ships to get under. Maybe you're going to enter. We're going to have a port at some point, but not yet. So, yeah. Okay, and we have connected that freeway to the avenue, because so far we only had one real connection. So we want to try to, again, make things connect as much as we can. So let's get building our town. Okay. Well, here is the initial, footprint of the town of Gunnel, which will lay in this area, and really serve to be a base for people working in the forthcoming agriculture industry. I think that having this as a separate city is going to be kind of a cool thing, and I'll probably do that a couple more times. But, here we have our first buildings that are coming in. Higher density residential towards the center, but I am going to have a significant amount of low density out here, because this isn't going to be a large town. But I guess the main thing that I can use initially to show the independence of this from Kier itself, in the central area, is that we have a train station that leads into the center of Kier from here. And maybe we'll go other places at some point, I don't know, but yeah, we have our train station. The last thing I want to add in before we really let things grow is we have a bus line that runs through the center of Gunnel, then between Ambrose and Imogen, and then through Myrtle, just to give us a bit of a connection to the city of Kier. On the one kind of non-highway, it's kind of a local traffic bridge. Okay, so you see all of our smaller blocks, which are the higher density areas, are now full. We can continue the outskirts of the city, but right now we do have our main grid in the main town of Gunnel. We also now have a third metro line that goes through the middle of Gunnel, basically on the same path as bus line 7 that I had just built. But I think that there really is a high need for ridership based on the statistics from the bus line, so it made a lot of sense to go ahead and build this. Okay, so we do have a little bit now of our Svalbard farms. This is kind of mostly crops and animal storage areas. We don't really have anything else. I have other generic industrial zone for farming that's going to come in. And yeah, I'm going to build a little bit more on the other side. Okay, now I do have a couple more warehouses. Do you think it's interesting that you can't build the regular crops or fruit like you can in the more temperate maps, but it makes sense. But yeah, I do have a bit more of a complex here with flour mills and a slaughterhouse, as well as more energy to produce. Okay, back into the town of Gunnel a little bit. I have, added a lot more low density to these existing blocks I've already built, but I've also put in a nice little park in here. I really think will break up the monotony, make it seem like more of a unique place. So, yeah, have a little bit of Gunnel Park here. Okay, so this development took quite a bit of thought um, because I have the major kind of four-way intersection with the expressway, um, but I also have the train intersection. So I really had to do some creative work about where bridges are and heights thereof. I had to lower the street again. It was a lot higher than it is now, but I think I got everything to work out the way it needs to be. Because I need the traffic to be flowing in both cases. I don't need to get stuck. Yeah, here we have a lot more low density coming in all around the core downtown area. So we very quickly established a new place over here on this side of the river. Yeah, I also have constructed a couple additional bridges that link Gunnel to Kier. So we have 4 bridges going across. We also have a cargo rail station that connects so perfectly with the raised elevated rail that comes from that side. So yeah, I talked about how the Metro Line 3 was built to help offset capacity that would be necessary for this corridor. And now the bus is just not enough, so we are expanding that to number 3 tram line. I think that's a sign of good things to come. So scrap bus line 7, which we already built in this episode, so we may as well just add a new bus line 7. Goes through the center, the other direction, through the middle of Gunnel, and then across in kind of an L shape. And here we have the town of Gunnel overlooking the city of Kier. And that's really exciting. This project has turned out a lot cooler than I thought it would, to be honest with you. But yeah, here is our project so far of downtown Kier, the town of Gunnel. So much more land to build on coming up. We're really excited to see where all this turns out. Well, I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.